So, hello and welcome back to Lessons with Calvin Sun. I did a lesson on the 10th of March, however, I didn't hit record, so this is kind of a recap of what happened in that lesson, as well as just a short. It's going to be a shorter video because I'm going to try out looking at pro games. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I'm hoping that things work out really nicely for that. So again, recap of what happened in the lesson on March 10th, the second week of March, and also a combination of looking at pro games. Because the idea for this video is going to be Joseki and reading. As in, if I Tanuki'd, what would happen? Kind of idea aspect for that. And I do sign language. That's why I sign language. It's why I am weird when it comes to signing. I'm weird. Whatever. Anyway, so that's going to be the plan for this. I will also be fairly lazy about editing because I want to make sure to work on the comic because I am enjoying that. It's helping me emotionally regarding all the things that's going on that I've told people in the past. So anyway, we are going to try this out. On my phone, I've got a thing for Joseki and I got a thing for game records. And today, I haven't necessarily looked at any pros to find out which one would work best for me. But what I'm going to do is, on here there's a section for players. I can search by players, but I can also check by opening. And lately, Chinese, High Chinese, Mini Chinese, Kobayashi, Shusaku, Nirinze. I'm going to go with Nirinze openings because that's been happening a lot lately and I've been having a few things going on with that. Let's see. Let's go with that and that. Okay. Oh, we can go with the most popular one. So this one is... This one was done, it won't show the full time. Well, full date. Anyway, so this was done in 2017. The 42nd Kisei, however you want to pronounce it. Takemiya Masaki versus Adachi Toshimasa. And in this, Whites wins by half a point. So this one, like mentioning before, it starts off with Nirinze. And we have double Nirinze. Now, I typically do not like playing two 4/4s, but when it comes to playing a 3/4 and a 4/4 as white, I mean, let's say something like this happens, and they get something like this in, or this, and then backing off. Something like this along the lines of these, and something like this maybe happens. I'm restricted to two corners, and I mean, they're very strong, but black has a lot of influence. Black can get an extension up there. I don't necessarily have any good moves. The bottom down here, there's hardly anything I can do. So I just don't feel comfortable. I mean, this is just one example, yes. But I just don't feel very comfortable with... Okay, good, I am recording. With this kind of opening. So I want to get more comfortable with playing 4/4s if I'm playing as white. Now, in this game, black does the approach. Now, in all games that I've done before, I would typically back off. I'd maybe do something like this. I'd do maybe something like this, and black can back off like this. But I mean, I probably should start doing a pincer towards this, because when it comes, no, wait, hold on. So this is also me kind of studying and thinking about this. So this is, I think I was told something about this, because here, this should be proper, because it's going for territorial. However, when it's high, it's no longer territorial, and it's influential. So now I'm getting all these emails. Sorry. So I want to say that it's now okay to do some kind of approach here. No, actually no. Never mind. Scratch that. No, wait. So continuing elsewhere. This is just what I'm seeing with this, just from this. I don't know. Let's say something like this happens. Extend out. Now it's pretty much me between this and this, but at this point, actually, it might be better to do something like this, kind of reduce and bring out my potential here, build up. And both of us have corner that can be invaded. So I would say that this is slightly worse for black because of the aspect of Kobayashi. So maybe it is fine. Maybe it is fine to just simply back off and allow black to play something like k4 afterwards, because it leaves the corner open. Just have to make sure that you don't go into the corner directly, and make sure that the influence that benefits from that is minimal. So back to the game. Black approaches. White does back off. And black comes out this way. Okay, at first it did look weird. However, I can see it. I can see it. So here there is the option of backing off. I instantly went for this because this happened in the last few games that I did earlier today in the stream. But like I mentioned before, it kind of goes against the Kobayashi idea because it leaves the corner open. With the 3-4, that 3-4 corner isn't necessarily open. 3-3 invasion is not open anymore. So when black is playing this, I can kind of see it. I mean, sure, these are kind of low, but they're so far apart. I'm not. It would seem like a waste, and it would be a bad idea for white to try invading in there. And it's too early for white to maybe do something like this, because black can easily just go elsewhere. So I can kind of see it. And besides, and I mean, if things occur where white can run out to some stones that occur in the middle game, black can still go into the corners. So I can see how you can leave f3 and continue with something like n3. And n3 kind of only, well, not completely, but almost entirely. Oh, I messed up the tree. Almost takes care of the corner with protecting that. So I can see that. I should keep that in mind for whenever this kind of thing happens. In fact, maybe that's what I could do in the game. Approach and then back off. What I could have done in previous games, not this one. Anyway, so in here, we've got that. White decides to go in this way. I mean, I already shared that I instantly wanted to think of playing something like this, because I mean, it's just a force of habit of want to play in the Moyo kind of aspect, because that's just what I've done in the past. I have a massive history in wanting to build a Moyo. But, I mean, this would be massive. Black has a lot... 3 stones for a massive area. Wide open. Black has 5. And it's much more solid and much more beneficial. Black can bully the top and be able to get even stronger. This makes... Okay, so to kind of give a basic idea as to what I'm currently processing and to hopefully make it better to understand what I'm thinking, white has 3 stones. 3 stones in the top quadrant. Three. Over here, black also has 3, but after what I did before, black would have 4, and N3 could almost be part of that because it's an extension of Q4 and it's nice and strong. So we can probably consider that as well. And there's nothing over here for white. This is too far away, so it's only 3. So right now it's 3 against 4. And with something like this, it's 5 against 3. Now, the less stones you have in a certain area, the more it'll want to be bullied. So this right side for black is extremely solid, and if white invades, black is going to benefit in who knows how many ways. And white has too many problems, a lot of things to try and fix. The corner's still open. I mean, the corner's still open here, but black can easily fix that. Or benefit in other ways. But white's going to have a lot of trouble here. So I'm glad I'm looking at it. I mean, I definitely could be wrong. I could be wrong, where we can definitely play this way and go for Moyo, but I myself am just not seeing it. But it's I guess I should put it in a way that maybe this isn't bad. Maybe it's just looking at this in a whole different aspect, because this could be very beneficial to be able to look at different options like this. Because with this, black is just getting far too strong and a lot of stones compared to white having very few. My phone keeps locking. So, white goes in here. Now backing, okay, so in the game, black does a close pincer. Now I'm not the best with remembering or, at recalling some Joseki, and this is one of them. I'm not... The close high pincer is not something I see or play or even think about anymore. So it's something that I probably should look at again at some point. I mean, this I do know because I played it earlier in the stream. And white can't extend out this way, otherwise white's cut off. And that'll be beneficial for black. So white would need to take the stone, and white and black get strength. And now I'm surprised that this variation didn't happen in the games that I had before. But this variation I do know, yes. It just depends on what the rest of the board looks like. And maybe... No, never mind. So, I would say that this is decent because white does get sente and the top is able to be pressured to, I mean, we can maybe imagine a small corner like this and white gets potential outwards. And I would say this is about even for a game because white's still wide open, black has a lot of thickness. I would say it's about even. So, I mean, that's what I'm used to seeing. But this, I'm not very familiar with. But in general, with the idea of a pincer, I like that because it's still keeping to the idea of where are all of the potentials in stones. I mean, if we also take the board like this, white has 3 stones on one side, black has 5. So we can come back to that idea and know that if black comes over here, I don't know, let's say this variation goes out. If this occurs, then it's not as beneficial for black anymore because of now it's only 4, can't benefit anymore except for maybe building up in potential for Moyo, and this is restricted as well. Less mobility to profit, get bigger. So I can definitely agree with the pincer. And again, feel free to let me know what you think should change while going on with these kind of videos going over pro games, like what I can do better to better explain, or how many variations to go about, or what to do. Like maybe, actually no, I'm gonna do what I'm thinking actually, but do leave, don't leave. Let me know what you think could help these videos be a little better. Now here I'm almost slightly confused because black, well, okay, so if first let's look at this. If white were to jump out, I mean, this would not be all that good for white. I mean, white would be pushed down. Kind of a concentrated shape, not as good as if they were at Q11 and S11. And this would be problematic for white because white has 2 weak groups. So this would be beneficial. White can't surround black because this doesn't work, can attach. This doesn't work because of Ataris to get out. And can't extend this way because this doesn't work for white. So it's not very beneficial for white in my opinion. Although it's true, white can do this and cut. All complicated stuff that I have not really looked at in the past before. But so in general, I mean, I would have liked that as white. So maybe I'm missing something. No, I probably am missing something. If white does something like this, no, probably just building up and getting potential there. Maybe that's probably the simplest of things. Just getting that influence, pushing white down to the bottom, fixing any invasions that can happen other than the corner. But yeah, that doesn't look very good for white. And actually, no, here's another way to think about it, actually, because in the opening, we don't want to be surrounded and we want to be able to find ways to profit. White is not profiting at all. Maybe 1 point per move with these extensions or this extension here, but white can't profit and black can. Black has all of this influence at not even move 20. So I can so I can see why not extend out and why go for the corner instead. But the question is then, I mean, no, it's still fairly open. So I can see this. So corner, block, and we do this Joseki, it looks like. Yes. Do. Now this is fairly similar to what was going on before, where black still gets thickness, but the difference here is that this thickness, I mean, there's the Aji stone. The Aji stone. That, and this is so really wide open right now still. With all the previous variations, there's either weak groups or, where is it? Or here it is. Or black gets thickness. So okay, so this is, so here, where would black play? Here, where would black play? Now, for me, I probably would continue to, I'd probably play something low, like R8, to kind of fill this open space here, to make it more beneficial. Because, I mean, looking at N15, if I were to play N15, again, this is wide open and this would feel over concentrated. So I would feel more comfortable if something was playing on the right side, maybe like R8. What does this say? Okay, fairly close. Okay. On the right track. Black plays this. Okay, I think I can see my mistake, but I'm good. I'm good. I'm happy that I am kind of seeing this. So let's take away all of these markings, because like I mentioned, well, as you can see, black spent a lot of moves on the top, and the bottom is very, very solid. Sure, it can be invaded or whatnot, but black can easily get very good shape out of it. So, and something like this would be very small. I mean, there's still this Aji to possibly come underneath. We've got this as well. And then some kind of extension to bring that out. And then extend out. There's a lot of room. I mean, okay, this may or may not be good, but it is better if this were here and white were to try doing something in here. Black spent a lot of moves in this area and is nice and strong. And it helps this slightly weaker group. I hope that's understandable. I will continue to work on my wording, so I do apologize for that. But the difference between R6 and R9 is that with R9, it possibly gives options for white to do who knows what, future reductions like this, where it can be devastating to the corner. And the corner's bigger. Just overall, the corner's bigger. That, and probably just looking at the shape. I mean, this is extremely long for an extension, and we've got two large knight moves here. And this is over-concentrated. Over-concentrated, the moves like I'm looking for. So, because this looks over-concentrated, this shape, we need to play something else. Like this, where this is, I mean, the Q12 stone is still there, but it's no longer over-concentrated. We've got a large extension here. And if black gets really strong and gets stuff over here, there's no way white can live in there, in my opinion. So I see my mistake there, where R6 would be better than an extension to R9, because that is something I would do in my games. Now, I'm not saying this is always going to be correct. This is just something that I should probably look into more, because corners are bigger. And if white were to do something in here, then I would be able to benefit from that as black. And again, all these invasion things for white would, of course, be for a later time. I probably should have asked my question of where should white go later, but I've already seen it. White now plays this pincer. Okay. So I totally get the right side now. Now, as white, I probably would make the mistake of wanting to play up top or making an extension here. Well, they may not be mistakes. Actually, here's a different way. No, those are still moves that I probably would play. But I need to think of urgent and big. What is urgent? What is big? Just like the book. What is urgent? What is big? Play urgent first and then big. Right now, all groups are fine, but black has a stone that can be attacked. So urgent. Well, not urgent, but big. It's the biggest thing, because if we take into account the if Tanuki, what does black play? Then black can probably play an extension like this, and that's just really good for black. All those stones, all that influence, all the potential, and white is still invadable. So we go for this. Now for black, I would say I would jump. I would jump to keep the white stone separated, keep it floating, and possibly ruin the potential on the left side for white. Okay. Okay. Completely off, I guess. I mean, it's one idea, but actually, I think I can kind of see it. If this runs out, I mean, it's kind of the same idea. Actually, now that I've played this, if we look at this, let's just say something like this: poke, 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 poke. Now black might be a little bit of trouble, and it needs some breathing room to be able to have eye space. And white can get some kind of extension here to, again, limit that potential. So I guess I can kind of see the purpose of the move. And it threatens it threatens pincer, threatens going to the corner. So I can kind of see that. And if white were to try attacking this one stone, it would be pretty hard to still capture it, I would guess. So I would say white will respond to this. It'll be pointless to try going about with the bottom or something. But the question is how. So we've got options. We've got, I haven't looked at it either. We've got a pincer of some sort. We've got a kick. We've got backing off. We've got attaching, but attaching is going to be bad. Let's say that these are the options for white if locally. And if down here, I'd probably say 8, but it's definitely got to be one of these things. Now, this is the reading thing with the openings that I've been trying to work on, and would like to kind of go through the thinking process that I have for this kind of thing. Here, we need to look, and for the idea of Joseki, looking at Joseki, and thinking about the results before doing something. So, let's first look at the kick. Now, I'll ruin the tree, why not? If we do a kick, and let's just go with high for now. Black can play high. Probably wouldn't play low because that would be too low. White already has this extension out, and this would be painful for black, as well as this cap here. it would be pretty painful, and it would be really painful for black to have to play something in the, play an extra move in here. Probably just that. So, but at the same time, the corner is still open. The stone is still open. Okay, maybe this or this could be good for white, but maybe there's better. Maybe there's better. That's the thing to think about, because that's another mistake I would make too. If a Joseki looked good and there was potential out of it, even if there's something like this later on in the game. Wrong order. Even if this were to happen in the game. Actually, that doesn't look good at all. I mean, if black gets that in, that's going to be... You know what? Scratch that idea. I don't like that. I don't like that. White looks very over-concentrated. So, no to the kick. Just no to the kick. In my opinion. In my opinion. I don't know what the game says. But, depending... Well, then again... So, the kick is a 50... No. Kick maybe as backup. But with that in mind, backing off with either 7 or 6 would kind of be the same idea, just letting black live safely. So we've got to do some kind of pincer, in my opinion. And I might have to say a close pincer, because by being close, and because of this Joseki, white already has a stone here, which is beneficial for white. And then black, and then white can play elsewhere. I would say that this is pretty good for white. So, if something like this were to happen, so I just feel far more comfortable with any of the pincers, far better than the kick or whatever, because again, it does restrict black's movement. That, and if black goes into the corner, we can see a mirror of what happened in the other corner. And white could probably then play something in here. Actually, no, probably not yet. Probably not yet. Maybe this? Yeah, maybe this, because it can, maybe. Or jump. Actually, I do like something elsewhere. And having something to go elsewhere. Weak stone. No, I like that. I like the idea of the tight pincer. With high pincers, almost the same idea. I mean, it's kind of similar to what happened before. And then black can maybe do something up here, but this is more solid, so black has less of a chance to be able to run out in the future. Now, here's the tough thing when it comes to studying games. I mean, I truly want to just look at what happened in the game, what kind of pincer white made, but we can't just do that in our games. We can't do that. And that's not what I want to do. It's not going to benefit me in any of my own games. So when studying a pro game, or any game in general, I would definitely recommend, if you feel unsure, keep looking at it before you try looking at the answer. If you get to a breaking point, then yeah, I would look at what was made and then try to see why based on all that you learned from that. So I mean, we can maybe do what happened on the other side. Actually, I don't think black can do this. Because if you look at the board right now, everything is symmetrical except for the bottom 3 stones, the N and F3 and the J4. But it's close. But white has the J4 stone. So this would be very, very beneficial for white. So black couldn't or shouldn't go into the corner. But with this, but then we do have this. This would be hard to kind of respond to. Or not. Just extend. Just extend. And go this way, because you can still benefit from something like this. And this is still Sente, so black would probably still need to respond. Unless they go this way, then they wouldn't need to respond. But if they play that, then white could probably play elsewhere. Well, not elsewhere, but white's shape and how everything looks over there, I probably not that. So what if here then? No, that doesn't look good either. I don't like that. So maybe, unless I'm missing something with this Joseki. I'm going to look at the Joseki app. I feel like I should totally be able to look at that. I mean, it may not have exactly what I need, but that's totally okay. Okay, Joseki, Hoshi, approach, and that. Okay, so here we've got, I'm going to see what it says. Okay, the one space high pincer, Iken Tabasami, or something. Unknown and classical go. Okay, so extend, extend. We'll continue with this idea. Take the corner. It does say go underneath. It says the result is equal. White has this, and black has to defend against it by extending. And then white can come back to fix that. And it says that this prevents a co-fight. Oh, I see it. I see it now. Do. Okay. Well, that's good to know regarding this Joseki. Because if black... Okay, so here it says this is not recommended. And oh, that's nifty. So if black plays elsewhere, white plays here, black plays that, white throws in. Wait, no, that's wrong. Oh, this thing is confusing me. Okay, okay, we just did that. The reason why I'm confused is because it shows this, then this, then this. Wait. Okay, sorry. This just seems very. Hold on a second. It says that this is. Oh wait. I think I understand what this thing is doing now, but it's weird. I wish there was a pass button on this Joseki app. Okay, is the black attack after playing elsewhere? Okay, so the colors are just inverted. Blocks does that. No, that's no. Okay, no, I'll just show what this says or shows. Do. But when it gets to this, this is now a white stone. And then this, and it says Ko for life. For black. Okay, this is okay. So just for the sake of time, that is very complex. I have okay, really weird. But overall, it said that that was not good for black to play elsewhere in this kind of. And if white gets some kind of okay. So, disregarding emotion. Emotion will not help me with my decision here. But I mean, personally, I kind of like this, but I understand. Okay, how about, okay, I've narrowed it down to at least a high pincer, either 2 or 3. And based on what happened on the right, I want to guess that D12 should be what is played. Okay. Finally made a decision, and it was played. Now the question is, does black jump? Because I disagree with going into the corner. Black does jump. Okay, we're getting somewhere here. Because again, we looked through multiple of the things, multiple variations, and saw that if we do this as black, it's pretty much a mirror, and white gets Sente. For black, black does not want that. So we need to jump. Okay. White backs off, but well, I don't know which way. But do we go low or do we go high? How long have I been recording? Almost, okay, 45 minutes. That's fair. That's fine. We can go low or we can go high. If we go high, no, I think low is the correct response. I think low is the correct response. Now, anytime you say think, okay, so if we play this, no, I'm going to go with low. I like low because I just don't like how that looks for the top for white. Low. No, it says high. You know, well, this is a bit over concentrated, I guess. And if black gets something like this in, that would be beneficial. Completely surrounded. Yeah. And with a high extension, if this were to occur, white could opt out. So plays high. Okay, so plays high. And black does the shoulder hit. Okay. I've been able to understand everything in this game, in my opinion. And we come again to another thing. I mean, it does make sense. Because we did talk about that F5, if jump out, white jump out, white jump out, it's going to be beneficial for white, for the most part. But now black is all of a sudden getting all of these potential moves to help with that. If white just backs off here, this can be beneficial for black regarding helping the two stones out. And this also helps, I don't know, let's say something like this happens. Then black can jump out, and now black has thickness and can attack the one stone even harder. But I think that's the only move white can do, C7. Because if white just goes elsewhere, black can probably just ignore. Ignore. No, probably not ignore. Probably extend. Get some shape, be able to connect underneath. And black can always come back to this later on. Unless white spends another move on it, but I don't think white can afford that. Black would be so far ahead if something like this happened in the game. 45 minutes for 25 moves. All for 25 moves. And being able to do all of this in my head or your head. Well, more practice, more natural this will become. So I disagree. Well, actually, yeah, I disagree with playing away from this. I believe white needs to either do C7 or D6. I don't see any other way around it. Okay. White chooses to cap. Although I guess it's true, white could... No, I already... If black does this, white can ignore. I believe. Black can do something like this. Maybe this is... Although it is true that with the attachment... Okay, so this gives a little more room for white to potentially surround it. By attaching... It's... That's what I missed. I almost gave myself up to seeing what the next move was. But this is big. And then black can always play this, and black is nice and strong. This is beautiful. But by playing high, black doesn't automatically get that potential, and white has a better potential to attack these two stones, keep them separated and whatnot. I mean, if white were to play something like this, then that extension would kind of do the same thing. Okay. 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 So next for black, I would assume no. Extend out. Okay. I think this is a good point to just kind of go through, just leave quick remarks, and then when it gets to one more complicated thing, I'll go a little deeper in thinking. But then, yeah, because I do want to try to keep these videos to about an hour, and that's in about 10 minutes. So here, black extends out. I almost want to... top is important for white. I think white should extend. Okay, similar idea. Corner is biggest, Austin. Corner is biggest. Just going for the corner, and it kind of helps with the white stone. If black plays away, white can connect underneath. So okay, and I don't think black can descend without leaving Aji. Ooh, here's a shape thing. What do we play? Do we descend? Do we hane? Do we back off? Do we attach? Actually, no. I mean, with the hane, it gets rid of the corner potential. I almost want to say that descend is fine. Descend? Yes, okay, descend is fine. I was probably just overthinking it. Overthinking the possibilities of whatever to happen there. Now, white extends? No? Corner still bigger? Okay, so keeping this... I feel like this would be really big, though. But then again... because that corner would be really massive if black were able to get that in. Okay. So... oh, wait. It's close to thickness. It's close to thickness. When it's close to thickness, it might be beneficial to just leave it be, go elsewhere. But then again... But okay, white isn't strong enough to do this, because if white were to extend out, let's say things happen over here. If white tries to lean against this group, black can always pressurize this group because it's not exactly strong. Okay, so we can't do that yet because there's more urgent matters to take care of, to prepare for that. And then black will go ahead and play as we thought of before. So this is close to thickness. Black has potential over here. White's top is pretty decently fine, but it still has some Aji things. But white, I still think, needs to bring out that one. No, there's just a lot of trouble in this game. But white won by half a point. So I will think a little bit at this point again of the game. There's still Aji with this stone. Maybe d6? Yes. Because white has to keep what territory they can. Black should extend. No, I guess that's still like, no. Although that is kind of weird though. But in general, just shape, making sure that black doesn't have to... Anyway. As white, I would want to no. I don't think we can afford trying to help out D12, and we need to play elsewhere for the time being, like the right side. I keep going with instinct. I need to go with gut. Because this is threatening to separate two weak groups. Black has two weak groups. Black needs to be able to support both. White extend. No, this. Well, yes. I'm saying yes. That's my gut. No, my gut is saying down here. Close. Okay, close. So get some kind of shape. And shape. Prevent the connection. Prevent the connection. With this, that would give black some shape. And this gives white sente. And some better shape in general. So attach. Okay, similar kind of idea to what I was thinking of just before. I'm guessing poke because of shape. Yes. Aha, shape. Always think of shape. Yes, we've got a cut point there. Ooh, that's interesting. They don't play this. They play this. Which makes sense, actually. If they play this, there's options later for something like this. To just live. So, okay. Again, always learning something new. Always learning something new. So we play this, and then they play this poke, or connection. I don't think white needs to respond to that, and we'll need to cap. No, they play this, protect. Okay, so white's not thinking about attack. They're thinking about keeping shape, making sure they're alive. Yeah, that did seem a little slow, but it makes sense. Probably sent it, yeah. Sente 2. So white's alive. White's alive, totally fine. So now, white extend on top. Because white can't necessarily benefit... No, wait, no. I almost... No, maybe the top, because white does need more points. And this is alive. But my gut is telling me to continue with the middle. Or to go elsewhere. Aha. They go straight up, protect the corner. Okay. Continuing on, we see this... And but instead of responding to that, okay, well, yeah, normally I would actually respond to something like that, but but I get it. White now needs to fight. There's nothing, this is just getting way too big. So white has a strong group that will live to reduce this area. So now the big thing for white is to reduce this right side. So we go into the fighting. Fight. Extend. Pincer. Attach. Descend. Extend. Oh, clamp. Clamp, that's interesting. Does that work? And then extend. New. Again, I'm just going really quickly, going to start going quickly through these for the sake of just continuing on. So that Aji was exploited and has a good possibility of being able to connect. Black starts bringing out this. But now all the ideas from before are now kind of out of the idea. Actually, no. Actually. Because black is still cutting off the J4 stone by doing this. White can't connect the two stones. Okay. Go for the corner. Going for potential to help with the J4 stone instead of just directly trying to do stuff in here. See what the rest of the asking questions maybe. Protect, extend, yes. This just looks so bad for white. Okay, so white can connect. I was just not reading that properly. Okay, so all of that potential over here is now gone. Potential is gone. White has 3 corners, potentially 2.5. And that influence is now gone. But black has a nice big corner and can now put pressure on the top where most of the other points are. Corner is massive, so now back to 3. I'm guessing. Oh, they just straight up take it. Okay. Fights. Again, just needing to quickly go through. Okay. White can maybe live local. Maybe. Do we get a capture here? Is this one? No, I think I can see that. Mm-hmm. Oh, not extend. Just directly take. So white has 1 eye, and white needs that other eye. How are you going to get that other eye? This ladder does work, but I don't see that. No. Oh, that's how you get it. Threaten to cut still, because shape, again. Threaten. So black connects, and then threatens again, and then... Nope, black does not connect. Threaten first. Straight up connect. White straight up live. And then straight up connect. Okay. But what does white benefit from this? I mean, the potential that black had on the top is now gone. Now it's only a few points. But black has more influence. So if black goes for, yeah, like just in the game, goes for this is quite big. Ooh, that's right, the ladder still works. Is this really bigger than this? Oh, you don't connect. You'd go with that variation. Okay, that makes sense. That way it's not a co and it's just straight up connected. While it's a few points more than just simply connecting, I guess. Do. Disconnect, connect, attach, underneath, And at this point, it's pretty much just endgame from the looks of it. Just reducing, saving stones. Yeah, it looks like it's pretty much just endgame at this point. I already said that. Anyway, and we already know the result because I already said it before. White wins by half a point. White does not connect. No. Block. Protect. That's crazy. I mean, that is a big quarter. And black does get points in the center. And all of white's points are, well, unless something happens up here. Oh, never mind. Double count. Is it really that close of a game, though? Doesn't feel like it. Unless white reduces a lot. And that's it. I mean, just looking at it, I'm going to fill in Dame. Because we know me. I like filling in Dame. Makes it easier to see. But is it really? Oh, that's right, there's Komi, which is 6.5. And if you add 6.5 to white, that's ahead by half a point. So, I forgot all about that Komi. Without Komi, black would definitely win by 4 points, 6 points. But okay, I think, I mean, there was a lot in the opening that I definitely at least learned, and I hope that you were able to learn something in that as well. I'm going to move over back to this. Again, I'm going to be kind of lazy with the editing with this because I would like to be able to work on other things today. Yeah. So, a lot of Joseki talk for the first half of that, trying to look at just thinking in our heads. Sure, Joseki may look good, but is there anything better? We need to make sure that we continue to look at all the options before we just suddenly say, oh, this is good. This is the way that we have to go. So we need to make sure that we look at other variations as well, even if we believe we know what the correct response is. Unless it's fairly obvious as to what to do, then doing that. As well as making sure to just look at what could happen if we played away and they did something. What could possibly happen? Do I need to fix something by doing that? And then the difference between urgency and big. whether it be, well, and looking at weak groups. What's weak on the board? But most of this was mainly Joseki. I mean, it's not often that I look at the high close pincers to an approach, and I feel a lot more comfortable after looking at that. I mean, I'm going to have to continue looking at that, and I encourage you to continue looking at that Joseki and other Joseki as well, and learning from them, looking at the variations, because when you look at the variations and you know the different variations in your heart or mind, if you don't want to be corny like me, then you have a better chance at being able to outplay your opponent. Because the more you know and exercise, then the more stronger you'll be in that position, and then you can move on to another position, get stronger at that, and be able to collaborate each of these ideas to get better. So that's the general idea of this video. An hour, 10 minutes, that's totally fine. So I will end it here, and I do apologize for forgetting about the recording button, but I will not forget next time, hopefully. So we will continue on with that. There's something I was going to say. What was it going to be? So anyway, Joseki, and a little bit more into reading and a little bit of my thinking process. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. If there is anything specific about this video that you feel like you need to critique a little bit for constructional critiquing, feel free to let me know. I am all up for knowing what I can do to make these videos better. Again, this was a test. This is what I was going to say. This is a testing video to kind of see how things would look if I do pro game studying like this, to help go through my thinking processes and learning a little bit more based off of lessons that I have with Calvin, and give you some ideas as to what you can do or work on in your own games. I hope that these were beneficial for you, and again, let me know if there's anything I can do to make these videos a little better. And I enjoyed it. I think I'm going to continue on with this every now and then, or maybe even one lesson a month with Calvin, and then a second video of something like this. But we'll see. We'll see with time. But I will definitely continue on with this idea. So thank you guys so much for watching and for being a patron and showing support for this idea of pro lessons. I hope that you were able to learn from these games, from this game. I'm not streaming. Hope you were able to learn something from this game, all the thinking, processing, and all of the Joseki that we talked about. And I will see you next time. And again, thank you. And I hope that you are learning a lot from these. Later.